Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to the garden. Just a very brief video today, just off the back of the week of cold that we have recently had. As of the past 2 nights, 48 hours or so, we've been down to -6, with it only getting up to around about the 1 degree C during the day. So if you ever wondered what your garden would like after a deep freeze, this is the kind of thing you'd be looking at here. This is one of the Trachycarpus palms that we've got, one of the baby ones. You can just see here, guys, the frost has been sat on these leaves here for a couple days now. Panning over here, guys, you can just see landscaping fabric has done a reasonable job of just adding that little extra coat of protection around these, really catching that frost, as you can see on the top here. Just as we pan around, guys, just a bit of reflection after the cold. We are due now to really be going into about a month's of slightly warmer weather, probably, minimum temperatures more around that kind of 1 to 2 degrees C during the night, maybe slightly warmer, but also daytime coming up to around about that kind of 6 to 10. So again, much milder conditions than we have now. Now, just having a look down the mini golf course, guys, you can see this area of the garden really just does not get any of that morning sun. So the frost has completely stayed down here. We'll come out the sunlight, just see if we can give you a better idea. So just as we look here, you can see the Trachycarpus palms completely caked in frost. Again, just having a look down here, guys, everything has really been touched quite hard here. Just as we come around, guys, off the back, you can just see here Tetrapanax. Hopefully the frost has not done too much of a number on this. You can see the new leaf, again, fully frosted here. And if we look at the stem, hopefully it's going to grow from that stem point there. Really a question now whether we're going to lose this growing point here or not. Just coming around the back, guys, you can see all sort of covered here. Now, certainly if you've made it this far in winter and, managed not to completely stress yourself out over the cold temperatures, well done. Of certain plants, I certainly have had a little bit of stress on here. Things like the Butea, guys, again, fairly large plant, really should take this sort of cold without too much issue, but with it being a newer plant, only going in the ground sort of the past year or so, just want to ensure, because the root system will still be kind of actively growing, it's got that little extra protection, for its first couple of years here. Now, of course, what we'll be doing, as it's set to get warm over the next 24 hours, we're going to be going around and getting rid of some of the frost cloths on all pretty much but the Musa bastu and Musa sycamensis. So just going to make sure that these plants get a good breathe now that we're coming into that slightly warmer weather again. Now, with things like the Dixonia, guys, I will be, as soon as I uncover that and we're in a slightly warmer temperature, I'm going to be watering that, giving it a really, really good soak in. The actual precipitation we've had during this cold spell is minimal to none. So, even though we're getting frost and you might be getting snow, the actual, rainfall, if you will, is very minimal to none. So, it can be misleading when you look outside to think that the plants are getting nicely watered. But with things like your Dixonia antarctica, it is important to, really keep them watered during the winter as well. It can be kind of a, a misnomer that you don't need to water them at all and just wrap them and leave them. This is an option you can do. Some people, get away with this quite well. But, just with the plant being a moisture-loving plant, if you can really give it some water on those warmer times, certainly will help it there. Just coming off the back, guys, baby Dixonia, you can see we put the landscaping fabric on as a cover, just hopefully to protect these fronds. And as you can see, it looks like it may have done an okay job. We still got some green under there. Up underneath it, you can just see the trunk, big wrap of the landscaping fabric. Now, I was quite fortunate that I did have a big roll of this left over from some of my projects and work, so I just was able to run out, put that on, in a flash, basically. Now, on the Washingtonia robusta here, you can see bigger leaves are probably going to lose. These plants typically sort of -5 is really their limits. We got down to a -6. So I'm unsure of whether this is going to make it, but this was done as an experiment anyway. I wanted to try a larger plant up next to the fence, give it some protection, and just see if that would help. One promising thing, guys, the center leaf here is still nice and green. I think because it's kind of vertical, the frost didn't have a chance to sit on that, which has helped that to hopefully pull through. Center spear is wrapped in that frost cloth. Again, hopefully we've saved that center spear here. Just panning around, guys. Pond again, fully frozen, to be expected at the moment. That should probably thaw out over the next sort of 48 hours. Come around here, guys, baby Dixonia underneath the bay tree. That one had again, landscaping cover over the top. That will all be coming off here quite shortly. To the back, guys, to the Washingtonia robusta small clump. Again, just a little bit of landscaping fabric over the top here. It really does seem to do the trick. It is breathable as well. This kind of helps to reduce the moisture buildup on these plants. Again, this is all going to be coming off in the next sort of 24 hours or so as we warm up. And just coming around to the back, guys, so I think with the kind of cold temperatures and cold spells, it can catch some of us gardeners kind of off guard, perhaps. It's easy to get kind of lulled into a bit of a safety zone, thinking that just because it says it's a cold hardy plant and it's hardy down to -10, these are the kind of things that, as we approach these cold temperatures, you do start to get a little bit of stress and anxiety, whether your plant and your environment for it is actually going to be beneficial and going to help it get through. So just one thing to think, guys, with this stuff, it's a bit of reflection to kind of understand, A, how much work you're willing to put into the garden to go out and protect things, but also B, what types of plants are the best to grow in your area based on your experience and willingness to, once again, put the work in to protect those plants if need be. But with that said, guys, I think even in the winter time, it may be one of these things. We all kind of dread these cold, freezing temperatures, but in some respects, guys, when it does happen, take nature's beauty into account here. Nature's a bit of an artist, and in some instances, it's one of those things you just sit back and reflect, because of course we can't really prevent the weather. We just kind of have to go along with it. I think one thing to say with this, guys, is as we kind of get some more extremes in temperature over the more recent years, it is worth thinking about say your garden may be rated down to a -2, -3 is the coldest you've ever seen, but certainly it's always worth being prepared for that -4, -5. So of course, with that said, guys, thank you for watching. I'd love to hear how your gardens have fared in this cold weather, what sort of plants you may be worried about, and perhaps what kind of things that you may be, completely happy that have done all right. So, of course, if you have not liked, shared, or subscribed, certainly feel free to do so. And with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.